Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. Did her husband,
I have played games and lied about many things to my wife.
cause her social anxiety?
She did not leave her home for 10 years.
Did he really lose his memories?
He blamed pot.
That is some good weed if it erased 4 decades.
Or is he gaslighting her?
To me, it doesn't make any sense.
You're basically calling me a liar.
You know how I know that? Because you told me you were a liar. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'm trying to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. A new term for you. It's called gaslighting. It's one of the buzzwords of 2017. You hear it thrown around in news shows and certainly in political coverage. But what does it mean? Well, it actually refers to being manipulated by someone psychologically in a way that makes the person question reality and even their own sanity. That's gaslighting. Now, that's exactly what Carla claims her husband Stephen has done throughout their 38-year marriage. She claims that Stephen is a narcissist who hides his controlling behavior behind a very nice mask, pretending he's acting out of love. It got to the point that Carla says she felt so helpless and inadequate that she developed a social anxiety and did not leave her home for 10 years. Now, all the while, they kept the outside world believing that they were a happy couple.
My relationship with my wife, Carla, is contentious and strained.
Go away and leave me alone. Steve is a confusing husband. On one hand, treats me like I'm his princess. I can count on him for everything, as long as that has absolutely nothing to do with emotions.
I'm an emotional abuser. I have played games and lied about many things to my wife, all the while thinking I was being a good husband.
Steve has 3 totally and completely distinct personalities. One is the super nice guy who will do anything for anybody.
Carla's not wrong if she says I have 3 different personalities, but I think there's some nuances there.
The second is an ice-cold, emotionless robot.
I have trouble with personal and emotional issues, yes.
And the third is a game-playing, pathological liar.
In my mind, I'm an honest guy, but in reality, I may be a liar.
The personality that Steve puts on, it's completely fake. He really doesn't care.
I pretend to care, I pretend to listen. The reality is my brain will go somewhere else.
I can't trust anything Steve says because everything is based on his version of reality. He lives in a world of make-believe, and I don't live in that world and don't want to.
In my mind, I'm trustworthy, but things that I have done show that I'm not.
It's all about lies and game playing.
I'm very superficial. I don't really want to get heavily involved emotionally with anybody.
I've been in an emotionless marriage for the entire 38 years. I just didn't realize it for several years. Steve is not the typical verbal abuser. He's more of a psychological abuser. He'll tell me what I want to hear and then do what he wants. About 17 years ago, I took off my wedding ring and I told Steve he had a year to fix problems and make me want to put it back on.
It's been 17 years and she still is not wearing her wedding ring.
I don't know if there's any hope that I'll ever be able to wear that wedding ring again.
Well, both Stephen and Carla described their relationship for the past 17 years as roommates. They just coexist. To say there is a lack of intimacy, well, that would be a huge understatement.
We've been sleeping in different rooms for 3 years. Carla sleeps in the master, I sleep on the couch.
Steve always felt that he had poor performance in bed, and that made him afraid of women.
There is no romance, there's no foreplay. We've never had trust, so reality is we've never really been intimate.
In the past 2 years, he told me that he was gay. That put him in a really good mood for about a week.
We talked about me maybe being with a guy. For some reason, it made me happy.
About a week later, he took it back. The idea of being with a man was gross. He could never do that.
In my mind, I'd never remembered being with a guy. It was just part of the conversation.
I have absolutely no idea if he's gay, straight, or asexual.
I believe I'm asexual. I can do without if I have to.
About 10 or 15 years ago, Steve and I made an agreement to live as just roommates, but he didn't honor that agreement. Steve would still initiate sex knowing that I could not say no. Then he would roll over and go to sleep while I suffered the consequences. Quite often I would go sit in the closet and cry, and his answer to that was to send me to a sex therapist. I didn't acknowledge it as rape until after I went to a therapist, and it took her several years to convince me that that's what it was. It was also confusing to me because Steve wasn't interested in sex, so why would he rape somebody? It must have been something I did that sent the wrong signal. It wasn't until years later that his own therapist told him that it was rape and that I could actually press charges against him before he would accept that that's what it was.
Okay, you said you took your wedding ring off 17 years ago and said, okay, buddy, you got a year to make me want to put this back on. What happened in the next 16 years? You haven't put it back on. You said you don't think you ever will. So why have you let 16 years go by?
I don't feel like I can handle life on my own. I need a babysitter.
So this is a parent-child relationship.
I never thought of it that way, but yes, I think you're right.
So you're living with daddy?
Ouch. Yeah, probably.
See, in a way, it's the same. I count on Carla a lot. Carla's my rock, or the person I trust the most in life. So you could also say it's the other way around.
You're living with mommy.
I'm living with mommy, I guess. I hadn't thought of it that way at all.
But you trust me. I don't trust you.
That's true.
Should she trust you?
No, I don't think. Well, I think of myself, and I think it said it in this, I think of myself as an honest person. I think that I try to do the best by her and by people, but I also tend to sabotage things and tend to cause a lot of issues that shouldn't be caused. They should be easy to resolve.
Okay, well, I just want to take that statement right there and talk about that a little bit. You said, I think I try to do the best by people. I try to sabotage things. Those are incongruent statements.
Correct. I know they are.
And that's exactly what you say, you admit, that you've done with her for 38 years.
Correct. Honestly, I'll play games, or I'll lie, or I'll do something that is against what I'm thinking in my mind. And then I'll literally, when I'm done, 2 minutes later, I'll forget about it, I'll put it in the back of my head, and I'll move on to what's for dinner.
Well, let's look at some things that you do admit to saying. You said, I don't take things seriously. I want issues to go away, so I don't address them. I pretend issues don't exist.
Correct.
I don't know how to have empathy. If there's something I don't want to do, I pretend it's not there and move on. I have a little box in my head. If there's something I don't want to deal with, I put it in the little box, I shut the door, I walk away. And I will talk in circles with Carla, and I promise to do things like see a counselor or something, but not follow through with it. I intend to when I make the promise, but then a few days go by and it's not mentioned and I just forget about it. I hide from my feelings and live in the moment. I don't worry about the past or the future. I just ignore Carla's pain. I just ignore it. I think she would be better without me, but I don't think I would be better without her.
Very true.
Now, you say that you have this big blank spot in your memory, that you just don't remember really anything before 21?
I don't remember much before 21. I remember nothing from early high school back at all. I remember I've forgotten a lot of things I did know after 21.
How many children have you had?
5.
And you say you don't remember the birth of any of your children?
Not really.
So what did Stephen do to cripple Carla so much that she didn't leave the house for 10 years? Was it something he did? Was it her? How do you stay at home for 10 years and neither one of them does anything about it? We'll talk about that next.
My therapist diagnosed me with PTSD, social phobia, and general anxiety. She said it was due to being married to Steve.
I ignored it. I just pretended it was normal.
I've been crippled by Steve. He's got me convinced that I can't do anything without him.
And later, how old were you when you got married to her?
21.
So how do you know you didn't marry her for her money? Because you can't remember anything.
Macy's After Christmas sale is going on now with 25% off active gear for all, up to 50% off underwear and lingerie, plus mix and match bath and bedding, buy one, get one free, or get an extra 20% off now at Macy's.
This is what real food looks like. Fresh, real meat and veggies. The food dogs were built to eat. The Farmer's Dog is changing the way we feed our pets. Visit tryfarmersdog.com to see your dog's personalized meal plan.
I've been using Kickoff for about 8 months now. My credit score went up about 150 points. Kickoff was the fastest way to build credit. Growing up, we didn't know that you needed credit to get a car. We didn't know you needed credit to get a house. Credit was 400. I didn't even know credit could go that low. Kickoff helps your credit score by adding a new credit account. Signing up for Kickoff, it takes about 5 minutes. No credit checks, no hidden fees. Seriously, if you want to build your credit, just sign up for Kickoff.
I was just going through so many life changes. I was having so much anxiety. You get to this breaking point of being I need help. At forhers.com, take a free online consultation to see if treatment might be right for you. My medication makes everything else possible.
Meet Mix Tiles. They stick and restick. Choose from dozens of sizes, frames, and styles. Over 100,000 people give Mix Tiles an excellent rating. You'll get free shipping and a full money-back guarantee. Go to mixtiles.com, upload your pictures, pick a fancy frame, and voila! Holiday special. Buy 10 and get 10 for free. Use code TV.
BetterHelp makes therapy accessible to all for a number of different reasons. Sometimes people are looking for that relatability. They're looking for someone who looks like them.
Being able to share parts of your identity with your therapist can be really important.
Are you praying already?
Yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts.
I found a picture of a girl in Marcel's phone.
Love and Marriage Huntsville has a reunion so big.
What about these rumors that there's sex parties?
It's 3.
You want the rooster to crow?
Jaw-dropping.
Have you ever questioned the paternity of your child?
Episodes.
I truly was not expecting that.
Kick off your New Year's Eve with Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 1, tonight at 8/7 Central.
Up until a short time ago, I completely believed that Steve had actually wiped out all of his memories.
I don't remember much of high school or who I hung out with or what I did. I grew up in Orange County and I can't tell you what house it was.
Now I'm not quite as convinced that his memory loss is as real as he thinks it is.
I can't tell you the joy of my kids being born because I really just don't remember them.
Steve and I have been seeing the same doctor for over 20 years. I asked him about Steve's memory loss. The doctor looked at me and said that that kind of memory loss does not exist, and Steve's lying.
You work, right?
I do work.
And you have a job that requires cognitive
very much
abilities and agilities, and you're able to do that?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
How long have you worked there?
Doesn't make sense either. For 38 years.
And you're able to function and do everything you need to do there?
I've trained myself I used to keep a journal. Every day I would write everything down with follow-ups. Now I keep it on the computer. But I've trained myself to give myself triggers to continually remember things.
Okay, and you said that you were told that you weren't his first choice as a wife.
Right.
That he wanted to marry somebody else, but...
In the military overseas.
That it fell through?
That it was determined that she wanted to just get a green card and come to this country, and so it was stopped.
But you don't remember anything about that?
Not even remotely.
you don't remember being involved with some woman and talking about getting married. And so how did your sister know about it?
I honestly have no clue.
Well, when we were talking to you in your interview, we asked you a lot of questions, right?
You did.
And one of the things you said, we were asking you about this woman. And here's what he said. He said, if I would have told Carla about it in the beginning, it wouldn't have been an issue, but I played games with her, so it became an issue.
Correct.
So you did remember it?
Well, I know we've talked about it, and I know what I told Carla is she doesn't need to know.
He did remember at the time we originally found out, and he convinced me to drop it for several years. And then several years later, when I brought it up again, it is when it was gone.
And the honest thing is, I don't know what I remembered back then, because it was 38, 40 years ago. I don't remember what I knew. Now, I
bought
don't remember.
He told me
That's
that...
as handy as a pocket on a shirt.
Yeah.
I just don't remember.
I did not...
I just don't remember going with her.
Well, I never told her back then that I didn't remember. I basically told her it was none of her business, which is worse.
When I first found out, it was none of my business, and normal wives wouldn't care about a girl that their husband almost married before her, and I needed to be normal.
Which I know is not right.
No.
Obviously, it's not right.
No.
But
No.
I
So
don't know.
you said I lived in Anaheim and when I was in junior high, but I can't pick out the house I lived in. I lived in Orange County in high school. I tried to go back to the school to see if it would bring back memories, but it doesn't help. I just don't remember much of that at all.
My high school is now a shopping center.
Yeah.
My junior high school is now, what was it? Condos. I thought maybe going back and walking around places to help bring back memories would help, but everything's changed. There's nothing there anymore.
Does this seem reasonable to you? I mean, does this seem like a reasonable level of functioning?
No.
No, I'm asking her.
I believed it for so long.
Really? You think that's reasonable? So the police pull a guy over and he says, I just don't remember if I robbed the bank. I would tell you, officer, if I did. I just don't remember if I robbed the bank.
Well, when we first got married, he blamed pot because he was stoned 24/7, and
That's some good weed.
yeah, he was in Thailand, you know.
That is some good weed if it erased 4 decades.
It would serve him much better to start spitting out the memories. So he's doing what's not in his best interest to not tell me if he actually does remember, which is possible.
Really? So he gives you a modified mea culpa and you say, well, okay,
I feel like I don't have any choice. It's more, so I'm backed into a corner and I do what I do to, I accept things I shouldn't, but it's a survival technique.
Mm-hmm.
To me, though, I mean, to be 100% honest, I don't remember. And, it may not make sense. It may not fit the guidelines, but
To be
I don't.
100% honest, as opposed to what you've been telling me prior to now?
I haven't told you anything that's a lie prior to now.
Well, why did you say to be 100% honest? Why are you differentiating now to what you told me before?
Based on just the tone, that it doesn't make sense, that maybe I'm lying and I'm not. I mean, I don't know.
But you want to work on this with her now?
I do, very much so.
And is there a newfound energy here?
Well, he's here, and he sure as heck wouldn't have been a year ago.
Could Carla's recent inheritance play a role? Or maybe he forgot about that. We'll talk about that next. You spent 10 years, you think, with a social anxiety.
I was diagnosed with social phobia.
And you think he set you up for this?
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
I'm back and own that.
And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Go glam at Macy's After Christmas sale with up to 25% off your party outfit, up to 65% off shoes and accessories, and up to 35% off fine jewelry. Plus, get an extra 20% off these incredible deals now at Macy's.
Calibrate guarantees sustainable weight loss by combining doctor-prescribed medication, one-on-one video coaching, and lifestyle changes to reset your metabolic system. Take control of your weight and your health at joincalibrate.com.
I love Simplify by Quicken. It shows me how much I'm spending and creates a personalized spending plan. I always know how much I can spend and save. How much more could you save? Take the Simplify challenge and find out. Named the best budgeting app by the New York Times Wirecutter. Start your free trial today.
Ask my friends if I can borrow $100. Let's see what happens. Can I borrow $100?
Go download the Earn It app. You can get up to $100 of your paycheck instantly. And it's hours you've already worked for, so it's so convenient.
Download Earn It.
Today, women with nighttime urinary incontinence don't have to wake up wet. Introducing the PureWick system, an innovative breakthrough system for managing female urinary incontinence at night.
Morning, Mom. Good morning. How did you sleep? Better, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, good.
The PureWick system works outside the body to draw urine away, helping to keep skin dry and control odor. The PureWick system is a non-invasive option for management of moderate to severe urinary incontinence, helping to reduce the need for multiple changes at night or trips to the bathroom. Now, staying dry can be one less thing to lose sleep over.
Call 800-705-8502 or go to purewickathome.com to see how you can save up to 10%. So call 800-705-8502 or go to purewickathome.com.
Love and Marriage Huntsville has a reunion so big.
Have you ever questioned the paternity of your child?
It's 3 episodes.
I truly was not expecting that.
Kick off your New Year's Eve with Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 1, tonight at 8, 7 Central.
Carla got some money when her parents passed away. A family member had told Carla that the reason I married her was for her money.
I made sure that when I got the inheritance, I completely protected it and went to an estate planning attorney.
In the back of Carla's mind, she may think I married her for inheritance. But that is not true.
Steve keeps asking to borrow money from my trust, and he'll write IOUs. He's probably got about $120,000 worth. I know he has no intention of ever paying them because he thinks I'll never actually leave.
How old were you when you got married to her?
20.
21.
So how do you know you didn't marry her for her money? Because you can't remember anything.
I know because I don't believe, I know a lot. I don't believe that's me. I don't believe I would have married Carla because of money in any way, shape, or form.
What do you remember about this picture?
Not a lot. I've seen it many times.
Well, you admit that you've manipulated, lied, and played mind games with her throughout your 38-year marriage, right?
Correct.
So, but you say that her inheritance has nothing to do with staying together. And I will say this, if you married her for her money, you are very committed to pulling off a con because you've hung in there for 38 years. I mean, that's very atypical behavior.
Her money has nothing to do with why I'm here.
So you say he's borrowed $120,000?
From my trust, yeah.
But he gave you an IOU?
I do have some brains, and yes, I made him sign IOUs for all of it.
We got up to about $70,000 in credit card bill. I mean, it was insane, and it just added. When Carla got the inheritance, she paid off her credit card bills, as well as we've been doing some remodeling on the house, and Carla's helped with that. That wasn't, the fact that it's there has been very helpful, and it's helped us a lot, but has nothing to do with the reason I'm with Carla or why I married Carla.
Yeah. You spent 10 years, you think, with a social anxiety.
I was diagnosed with social phobia, and I accept that. Excuse me, I accept now that that's what it was.
I pretty much locked myself in the house for about 10 years. My therapist diagnosed me with PTSD, social phobia, and general anxiety. She said it was due to being married to Steve.
I pretty much said okay and just pretend it didn't exist so it would go away.
Steve's reaction to my diagnosis was cold and indifferent. I assumed that he thought it was an overreaction and I was being a drama queen. When I did go out, I was fine in large groups. I could not stand to talk to people one-on-one.
I ignored it. I just pretended it was normal. I would go do the shopping. I would do the errands we needed to do. I would go to work.
Steve came into my life and completely took over everything, creating a complete dependency on him. Steve has made me so dependent on him that I'm incapable of making phone calls. When I try, I just freeze. I just go numb. He will take a box of cereal out of my hand to pour it for me, or even take my phone out of my hand to hit send on a text. I believe Steve is one step away from coming into the bathroom and wiping my butt for me. I've been crippled by Steve. He's got me convinced that I can't do anything without him.
You think he set you up for this?
I don't know how much of it was conscious and how much of it was more in his subconscious. He just kind of knew what he needed to do to...
Wow.
Making excuses for him again, right?
I enabled her to be able to do that.
The man has said several times since he got here, I played mind games with her. I knew she was suffering. I didn't do anything about it. As long as I got what I wanted, I didn't care. He has said that out loud.
Yeah, I see it. I mean...
Right?
When I'm suffering,
no?
I can see it.
You haven't said that out loud?
My thing is ignoring things, not...
Well, don't ignore my question.
Well,
did you say that out loud?
I said it, but I also said what I do is I put situations in the back of my head and I move on. So what I did is ignored Carla's situations and didn't put myself in as an empathetic person in her shoes to be able to help her. I just ignored it and moved on, pretending it didn't exist.
Didn't he tell you that he was gay and then a week later said he never said that?
He said he was not, and he doesn't know why he said it.
So you were gay for a week?
Yeah.
Closed captioning provided by...
Wow, is that really me?
I don't look 61 in 3 weeks. I have no wrinkles, there's no bags, and this is only because of Plexiderm.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Oh my God, I can't believe I have no lines in my face.
I'm just in love with the mirror right now.
It's a facelift in a jar.
We've seen the commercials all over TV, and you've seen the results on social media. This is one of the hottest products on the market right now. If you have any signs of aging, under eye bags, wrinkles, get ready to be amazed and excited. Plexiderm is what we're talking about with Melinda McKinsey, and you are a beauty expert who has seen it all, and yet you are still amazed by this product.
And I want to make sure everyone knows that Plexiderm has a fantastic New Year special. Try it for only $14.95.
And I want to just jump right into the photos because it's so spectacular to see those before and after shots. There are so many places on our face where we have visible signs of aging. Now, in this picture, we can see her wrinkles are primarily under her eye. Look how well Plexiderm performs here. But let's just go right to our pal Richie. Richie has had 3-dimensional under eye bags for over 20 years. You can't put moisturizer on, you can't put cosmetics on, right? It's not going to get rid of them. With the Plexiderm, look at the results he gets in just 2 minutes. Men and women alike, and also many different ethnicities. It doesn't matter what your tone or texture of your skin, Plexiderm performs the same. And as you see in this example here, she just had a little tiny bit of swelling underneath her eye. She put a little bit of Plexiderm on. Her skin still looks like her skin, but for her, she feels better. And that's what makes me so happy about it.
So I've had under eye bags for a very long time, and it sucks. I have spent so much money on tons of eye creams, eye gels. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm. And I'm not joking, it works. When I do a collage, it looks amazing. That is exactly how Plexiderm makes me feel. I put it on my face, and somehow, some way, I look together, which is amazing. I'm Jackie, and I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge, and so should you.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. It's amazing. There's nothing there. Like, the bags are gone.
Let's talk about all the exciting uses of Plexiderm. It's dark circles, it's under eye bags. Right. It visibly reduces all of these things.
Yes, if you have an issue under your eyes, that's really the main complaint that people have, are those dark circles underneath the eyes.
It makes you look unhealthy.
Oh my gosh, and it's the first thing people notice when you put it on. Dark circles visibly gone, bags gone.
Melinda, so many people struggle with very deep lines right about here. They're called 11 lines.
Yes, those dreaded 11 lines, and you notice them right away. Remember, when you use Plexiderm, it's going to visibly reduce that, so you have that beautiful Plexiderm shield.
This isn't the first time I've been on TV raving about this product. It's amazing. My friends, my family, they can't believe it. There's been creams, there's been lotions, concealers. Nothing works like this. And in just a few minutes, it's amazing.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera.
That was me a couple of years ago when I first tried Plexiderm. So I have these forehead lines. They're really deep set. They're hereditary. I've had them for years. And a couple of years ago, I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. Really, there are no other options. Plexiderm is the only thing that works. So after that video shoot, I was just walking home through Manhattan, smiling, thinking, wow, I look really cool. I look really young. And I think it just exuded this confidence. It was life-changing. It was the best decision I ever made.
I'm turning 61, and after 15 minutes of applying this, there's no 11, and I look natural. It's not too tight, and it's great. I like it.
Well, now that we've seen the amazing before and after results, has there been any clinical studies when it comes to Plexiderm?
Of course, and that's a great question because people want to know, like, does this work? What's the history behind it? They absolutely, the minute they picked up Plexiderm and saw how great it worked, the first thing they did was like, we need to have some clinical trials. We want to see that the proof is in the pudding. So absolutely, it can be backed up by clinical trials.
Men and women alike, and also many different ethnicities. It doesn't matter what your tone or texture of your skin, Plexiderm performs the same. And now, this is what I love. Plexiderm stands behind its product. It gives you a 30-day money-back guarantee, but you don't have to wait 30 days. Just in the first 10 minutes when you use this product, you know it's gonna work.
It's time you take action today with this incredible New Year's $14.95 special. Plus, get free shipping. Visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
The choices you make now will define the legacy of Hogwarts.
Real, honest to goodness love.
Mama wanna tell you where it's at. I wanna get that.
I was made for this.
Get that. Baby,
Y'all ready for this?
You have admitted that you played mind games with her and gave her double messages.
I did.
Right.
Yes. And I've, up until very recently, I've 100% believed that they were subconscious. He wasn't doing it on purpose. And
I don't think I'm purposely out there going, I'm going to now hurt Carla. That's never crossed my mind once. It just seems to work out that way.
I don't know how far into his own head he is. That I know he doesn't live in reality. He lives in fantasy land. So I guess I'm telling myself now that he's just 100% in fantasy land. He believes his own stuff.
Well, you don't have to buy a ticket on that bus. you seriously, if you think that's true.
I don't know what to think. That's the problem.
If you think that's true, you don't have to go there. He's saying, I don't remember anything. I don't know if I did that on purpose or not on purpose. I don't know. I went through and I made a list of things he said. These are his admissions. Yeah. I made a list because I've dealt with this type of individual before, and they can get passive aggressive and they really kind of obfuscate. They throw out a lot of vague and they talk in circles.
5 years ago, I stopped allowing it, and I call him out on everything. So we didn't used to fight. It used to just be, I accepted everything and made excuses. Now, every lie and game I catch, I call him out on. And that's when life got hard for both of us instead of just me.
He said, I play mind games, gaslights, pretends issues don't exist.
Right.
Like a 10-year emotionally crippled wife.
Right.
Has trouble with emotional and personal issues, just don't deal with them. Says doesn't have empathy, talks in circles, makes promises with no follow-through, not as interested as Carla in resolving these memories problems, thinks narcissist is an accurate label, ignores your pain.
Everything you're reading is what I've told him. Those are my words, not his. He may have said them to you, but I said them to him.
When had sex, knew that you didn't want to, not the least bit bothered with the lack of intimacy, talked you into the last 2 kids so you couldn't leave.
Now, that I didn't know until very recently.
Yeah. And how old are those children?
19 and 27.
So you remembered your motive.
I think that was my motive.
Said the story about marrying someone else is not true, can't remember, but admits knew it at the time.
Yeah, he knew at the time.
Well, she's told me I knew at the time, but
He's told me since he lost his memory on it that maybe it was something he told his parents so that his dad would think he was more of a man or something.
You said that he hung the laundry upside down and then went back and reversed it so you would think you were hallucinating.
Not quite like that. I asked him to take the laundry out when he was mad at me, and he just hung them backwards so that I had to come back later and redo them all. I get punished when he's mad.
Did he tell you that he was gay and then a week later said he never said that?
No, he didn't say he never said that. He said he was not, and he doesn't know why he said it.
So you were gay for a week?
Yeah. or maybe the idea made me happy. I don't really know. It came from a conversation we were having.
He said that it made him happy because he thought maybe that explained some other things from his past, not remembering his past and the way he dressed and a few things he did remember. He thought maybe it explained it, so he was happy that he had an explanation now. But then decided it wasn't true after all.
Well, with red flags going off in Carla's marriage, why didn't she ever leave? We'll be right back. Closed captioning provided by...
Are you praying already?
Yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts.
I found a picture of a girl in Marcel's phone.
Love and Marriage Huntsville has a reunion so big.
What about these rumors that there's sex parties?
It's 3.
You want the rooster to talk?
Jaw-dropping.
Have you ever questioned the paternity of your child?
Episodes.
I truly was not expecting that.
Kick off your New Year's Eve with Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 1, tonight at 8, 7 Central.
Macy's After Christmas sale is going on now with 25% off active gear for all, up to 50% off underwear and lingerie, plus mix and match bath and bedding, buy one, get one free, or get an extra 20% off now at Macy's.
It wasn't Meta's fault that yo-yo dieting failed her. Calibrate works with her biology to end an unsustainable cycle. Medication, coaching, lifestyle tweaks. Join Calibrate.com.
I need gas money, but I don't get paid till next week. What should I do?
Download the Earnin app to get paid early. Get up to $100 per day. No interest or credit check. Duh.
Download Earnin.
With Simplify by Quicken, it takes just 5 minutes for me to stay on top of my money. The app tells me when I've been paid, if a bill's too high, or if I've been overspending. I always know how much I have left to spend or save, and that saves me time and money. Start your free trial today.
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce. I'm back and own that. And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8, 7 Central.
I believe that Steve is a narcissist. He's very cold and completely unemotional.
I don't have a problem being called a narcissist. I tend to ignore it and just not think about it.
The only person Steve has feelings for is for himself.
Sometimes I ignore Carla's pain. She's telling me something that's bothering her, and I'll hear it, but then just as quickly I'll get over it and I'll be ready to go do something else. Let's go shopping or go to dinner or whatever.
Everything has to be about Steve.
I had a psychiatrist tell me that I'm non-empathetic. I will superficially dive into something, but then I immediately get over it and move on. Maybe I am a narcissist. Maybe that is the right label.
Carla took off her wedding ring 17 years ago, giving her self-admitted, manipulative, gaslighting husband, Stephen, an ultimatum to shape up or ship out. Stephen admits he did nothing to change his behavior, but Carla clearly didn't stick to her guns. And here we are, 17 years further down the road, anger and estrangement, just part of their existence. Do you have a question for me? Is there something specific that you want to ask me?
Does that type of memory loss exist? Is there any chance that that's real, or is that completely no way?
Just in my opinion?
Right. Or is he faking me out completely, wiping out your entire memory?
Well, I've been doing this for 45 years, and I have never seen a syndrome or clinical presentation that is consistent with what he is reporting. And I'll tell you why I say that. I spend a lot of my practice dealing with brain and central nervous system. And there are parts of the brain architecture that deal with memory. And there are parts of the brain and the spinal cord that deal with pain. And if I was dealing with somebody and I wanted to know whether their pain was real or not, and they would come in and tell me that they had a disc injury or a back injury at a certain thoracic level, and I would suggest to them, well, do you then have pain here or there? And they would say yes. And I knew that there was absolutely no neuroanatomical structure that would account for that pain, then I would know they were lying.
Right.
Because if they're saying they're having pain here and the injury is here, it flows down, not up. And if they're reporting something that there's no neuroanatomical structure to explain that, then they're either lying or it's in their head, one of the two. So it's called differential diagnosis. And when you deal with memory, there are certain logic tests that you go through. There are what are called hold and no hold functions. There are certain things where you can hit somebody in the head with an axe and it's going to disrupt some memories and not others. I'm telling you, to me, it doesn't make any sense at all. I think it's very convenient. And one thing about a narcissist is they can't read the room. A narcissist thinks that whatever they're saying is selling. They can't read the room. Now, you've been a pretty good audience because you've been buying this. I mean, seriously, you've gone for this like Jesse went for the train.
Yeah, but now you're basically calling me a liar and saying that I do know this stuff and I can just communicate it, and I can't. So I understand what you're saying. You're a professional in this matter, but if I don't know, I don't know.
She asked me a question, I'm answering it.
Yeah, but you're calling me a liar at the same time.
I don't believe what you're saying. Now, whether you believe it or not, I don't know. That's a whole different question. You want to know my answer to that question?
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, we didn't know that you needed credit to get a car. We didn't know you needed credit to get a house. Credit was $400. I didn't even know credit could go that low. Kickoff was the fastest way to build credit. No credit checks, no hidden fees. You can't beat it.
Hi, I'm Dana Lash from The Dana Show. Let me ask you something. Do you ever think about your circulation? Well, you should, because it's super important. Healthy circulation is important for your blood pressure and your energy level too. That's why I drink Super Beets every day. And I know you'll love what it does for you too. It helps increase circulation to give you the energy and blood pressure support you want from real beets without the beet taste.
Super Beets is the #1 pharmacist-recommended beet brand for heart health support. Inspired by the Nobel Prize-winning discovery of nitric oxide for its important role in regulating cardiovascular health, Super Beets black cherry-flavored crystals unlock the nitric oxide boosting power of beet nutrients to help widen your blood vessels, supporting healthy blood flow.
My name is Dr. Joseph Kurita. Before I would ever give a product to a patient, I tried on myself. So I started taking Super Beets and I said, wow, Super Beets is a game changer. It helps dilate blood vessels. It helps increase my circulation. It's having a beneficial effect on my heart and my energy. It makes me healthier.
Call now and find out how to get a free 30-day supply of Super Beets with your first order. Plus, these free nitric oxide indicator strips to measure your results. You'll also receive free shipping and free returns.
And listen, you have nothing to lose because it's guaranteed. If you don't love Super Beets as much as I do, you'll get your money back.
For a limited time, we'll even include a free travel pack of our delicious Super Beets Chews with clinically studied grapeseed extract to help promote normal blood pressure, nearly 2 times more effectively than a healthy lifestyle alone. That's over $30 in free gifts, all backed by our 90-day money-back guarantee.
This Super Beets offer isn't available in stores, so call or go online right now.
For this special offer, call 1-800-852-4510 or go to superbeetsdeal.com. That's 1-800-852-4510.
Hers knows what it feels like trying to outcope anxiety. We've tried it all. So when you're done doom scrolling, self-care rolling, and hot girl strolling without real results, it's time for mental health care through Hers. Get started at forhers.com.
Meet Mix Tiles. They stick and restick. Choose from dozens of sizes, frames, and styles. Over 100,000 people give Mix Tiles an excellent rating. You'll get free shipping and a full money-back guarantee. Go to mixtiles.com, upload your pictures, pick a fancy frame, and voila! Holiday special. Buy 10 and get 10 for free. Use code TB.
There is a lot that goes into becoming a licensed therapist.
2 years of graduate school followed by 2 years of clinical training.
You literally have to do 3,000 hours plus of interactions with clients. It is quite a journey.
People gonna talk in D.C.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
I'm back and own that.
And again, and again, and again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
I don't believe what you're saying. Now, whether you believe it or not, I don't know. That's a whole different question. You want to know my answer to that question? Mm-hmm. I think there's a fair portion of this you might believe. I think you may have deluded yourself to the point that you do believe some of this. I think you lie when it's convenient, and you know how I know that? Because you told me you did.
Right.
You told me you were a liar.
But not about the memory issue.
You can get self-righteous and sanctimonious about me saying you're a liar. You told me you were.
I'm not being sanctimonious. I'm just saying you're telling me that the things I don't remember, I'm making this up, and I'm not.
Memory requires emotional energy. If you don't invest in something, if you're not involved in something, then you won't have a memory of something that you really weren't present for. It's auto-exacerbating disease. I mean, it's like you don't invest in much, so you don't get much reward. So you don't invest in much, so you don't get much reward. And the less reward you get, the less you invest in. The less you invest in, the less reward you get. And it just becomes where you're just cold and walk through it. That's what you need to ask yourself, is not do I remember or do I not remember, but why is it that I don't have emotional energy about events in my life? I'm willing to arrange for you to go on a retreat. I'm going to arrange to send both of you, if you would like to go, it's up to you, to On-Site. Now, On-Site is a wonderful therapeutic environment. It's in the hills of Tennessee, and they deal specifically with intensive workshops for people that have been through emotional trauma and deal with mental health issues. So you have some answers. I'm going to arrange for you to have a brain scan and a brain map to find out neurologically what's going on, so you can rule that out.
Okay.
And when you come out of there, you will have some clarity about what you want to do or not do.
It's exactly what we need.
Yeah,
all right.
I agree.
Done deal?
Done deal. Thank you,
Done deal? Okay. A special thanks to Miles Adcock and On-Site for helping this couple. A high school senior is so frantic about applying to college, practicing for baseball, and worrying about his stressed-out mom that he could be jeopardizing his health. As busy parents, we can easily forget our children get stressed too. We'll talk about that next. Closed captioning provided by...
Are you praying already?
Yeah.
Fasten your seatbelts.
I found a picture of a girl in Marcel's phone.
Love and Marriage Huntsville has a reunion so big.
What about these rumors that there's sex parties?
It's 3.
You want the rooster to crow?
Jaw-dropping.
Have you ever questioned the paternity of your child?
Episodes.
I truly was not expecting that.
Kick off your New Year's Eve with Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 1, tonight at 8, 7 Central.
Hi, thanks for helping me out.
Of course. You can easily get helpful customer service over the phone or on the Progressive app. Pretty much anywhere. Even at the library. Or the coffee shop. Get great customer support at the park. Or at this coffee shop.
Why would we go to a different coffee shop?
Mobile order for J Money.
Thank you.
So is one of these places going to be my car again, or?
Right. Even at your car. Come on, I saw you eyeing these scones earlier. Huh? Huh?
All right.
You get it.
I'm a performing artist, so a healthy diet is one of the most important things. I also feel the same way about my dog. We were feeding her dry, triangle-shaped ingredients long as the yellow brick road. We didn't know how bad it was for her until we actually got the good food. We got her farmer's dog sent in the mail. It was all fresh. When she started eating healthier, she started being more active and smiling more, running more, playing more. I want my dog to have a healthy and long life. The farmer's dog really helps that out.
See the benefits of fresh food at betterforthem.com.
RuPaul's Drag Race is now a whole new racetrack. My super sweet 16 new queens are ready for the race of their lives.
And gagging, you killed it. Slay, mommy!
And buckle up for the one and only Ariana Grande.
This was a game changer. Something shifted in the universe.
Get dragged into the super sweetest season yet. Ready, set, slay!
RuPaul's Drag Race. Check your local listings.
Fair, freckled, or melanated, we are appreciated. Ultra hydrated, glazed, and glowing, confidence overflowing. New Vaseline lotions, 90% more moisture for my one-of-a-kind skin. And there's no other skin I want to be in.
My next guest, Rachel, says her 17-year-old son, Justin, suffers from stress and anxiety as a high school senior. Now, Justin says the stress of applying for college, playing center field on his high school baseball team, and worrying about his mom and grandma are taking a toll on him. Take a look.
We had 2 tests today.
How do you think you did on those?
All right.
All right's not good enough, Justin. My son, Justin, is a stressed out teen. He's suffering in silence.
Lately, I've been feeling a lot of stress. I do feel like the weight of the world is on me. Baseball's everything to me. I play varsity baseball in center field. I practice about 4 hours a day. After practice, I try to get a few hours of homework in. Between schoolwork, applying for colleges, and baseball, I don't really have a lot of time to do anything else. I feel like keeping up my grades and also playing well on the field has been stressful in my life.
Justin's been playing baseball since 9 years old.
My goal is to play college baseball, but not hearing from colleges makes me feel like I'm running out of time.
I've always been at every game, except for the last 2 years. Mama, how you doing?
My mom splits her time between Tallahassee and Orlando.
I'm the primary caregiver for my mother. I commute 3.5 hours each way.
Seeing my mother make that long commute is stressing me out too. It worries me sometimes.
It frustrates me that I'm not able to be there for Justin, and I feel guilty.
Well, I love this topic because Robin and I raised 2 boys, and it can build up on them. Now, Rochelle and Justin are joining me along with our very good friend, Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. So welcome. I'm glad you guys are here. Rochelle, did you know that Justin was stressing?
Dr. Phil, I never knew that our situation was adding the stress level that it has to Justin. I never knew that.
So how was this affecting you? I mean, you're kind of suffering in silence, they were describing. How did this affect you?
It's just hard, focusing on baseball in school and trying to excel in both of those and meet our standards.
Well, you're good at baseball. I know enough to know you got a good swing and you're pretty fast around the baselines. Doc, how can parents really recognize stress and know if it's taking a toll on their children?
First of all, let me say that stress is a normal part of living, and it affects children of every age. And stress can be a positive. It helps us learn resilience, problem solving, and it helps us learn how to adapt to the challenges of every day. Okay, having said that, intense stress or stress that's unresolved over a period of time can take a toll and be very damaging. It can affect the way young people learn, their behavior, and ultimately it can affect their health. Over the long term, it can actually increase the chances of developing heart disease, diabetes, substance abuse, depression. Now, parents often don't recognize the stress that children have. Why? Because the things that stress young people often we don't see as stressful. Trying to get good grades in school, juggling a lot of activities like you and baseball, bullying, peer pressure, even the physical changes that young people go through as they age. We just don't necessarily as adults consider stressful.
Mm-hmm. So how do they cope with this?
Yeah, parents often don't see that their stress trickles over to their young people. So in addition to those day-to-day things that we were talking about, young people often feel the stress of the adult issues, family finances, illness, death, divorce, even moves. These are all things that can push young people or stretch them beyond their stress limits.
So what can she do to help?
For young people to be encouraged to speak what they're going through and for parents to be able to listen. And remember that young people don't always use the same language that we do to describe their stress. They, instead of saying, I'm stressed, may say, I'm worried, I'm nervous, I'm confused, I'm annoyed, I'm angry. So these are words that you want to keep your ear open for that may indicate that there's stress going on. You also want to pay attention for nonverbal warning signs that your child is stressed. What do those look like? Sometimes it's poor concentration, it can be having trouble doing schoolwork, being withdrawn or isolated, so these behavioral changes. And some young people express it physically, stomach aches, headaches, sleeplessness, changes in appetite.
Yeah. So I don't know how you feel about this, Justin, but I think we've gotten to the point in our lives now where it's so fast-paced and we have our kids so booked and overscheduled, and you just want to play baseball, right?
Yeah.
Kids do need some downtime.
You're right, absolutely right, Dr. Phil. So as parents develop these schedules, all of these things are important to take into consideration. What does the schedule actually look like? And involve the young people as much as is appropriate. And every once in a while, you might want to take a look and say, let's weigh the pros and cons of paring back a little bit. And you may want to consider talking to a counselor or your doctor about ways in which you can help your child manage his stress, but also you can manage yours.
Well, baseball is one activity Justin isn't giving up since he'd like to go pro someday. So we had a big surprise from the big leagues. Major league pitcher for the Texas Rangers and most recently the Los Angeles Angels, C.J. Wilson, gave him a visit. Take a look.
I'm C.J. Wilson. I'm here to meet Justin. He's a high school baseball player, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a big surprise. Justin?
Yeah. Hi, C.J. Wilson. Oh, nice to meet you.
How's it going,
buddy? So let's do some baseball.
They sent me some video on you, and I think the skills that you have right now as a 17-year-old kid are pretty advanced. And if you keep it up, I'll see you in the big leagues.
you think you'd be hitting pitches from a pro pitcher that day?
No, I didn't.
And I hope that some of the information that we shared with you and your mom today was helpful in striking out stress in your life. But if you want more information, you can always go to gethealthystayhealthy.com. While you're there, you can sign up for the monthly newsletter where there's lots of really helpful information on important health topics.
I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Be sure to check GetHealthyStayHealthy.com. You'll have some really good clues and tips for helping your child with stress.
You're giving me deadlines that I will not hold. You're pointing at headlines that are way too old. Times have changed and so have I. I'm not living to survive. Don't fit in the box that you're putting me in. Won't sit through your talks that are making no sense. So you ain't gon' pave my way. Rather have it my own way. Swallow way too many pills, searching for some kind of thrill. You're just trying to cut me off. You take my pace every time I wanna run away. Let me be a move along. Swallow way too many pills, searching for some kind of thrill. You're just trying to cut me off. You take my pace every time I wanna run away. Let me be a move along. You can't take back the words that you said, that I'm not enough for you. Deep down I know that you regret it. Still you're tryna play it cool. You gotta see from my perspective. Every little thing I do was never for your entertainment. Won't ever be enough for you. You're painting my picture without a muse and giving me lectures about what I should do. You don't care about what I want. Cannot bear to be ignored. Swallow way too many pills, searching for some kind of thrill. You're just trying to cut me off. You take my pace every time I wanna run away. Let me be a move along. You can't take back the words that you said, that I'm not enough for you. Deep down I know that you regret it. Still you're tryna play it cool. You gotta see from my perspective. Every little thing I do was never for your entertainment. Won't ever be enough for you. Won't ever be enough for you. Take back the words that you said, that I'm not enough for you. Deep down I know that you regret it. Still you're tryna play it cool. You gotta see from my perspective. Every little thing I do was never for your entertainment. Won't ever be enough for you.